Hey guys, yeah, we're gonna be looking at blood and tissue nematodes, namely Onchocerca, Volvulus, and Wuchereria, Bancrofti. Yeah, let's get into this. Got some Frank Ocean playing in the background, keeps me calm. Yeah, so these are the contents, you can look through them. On to the introduction. So these nematodes, they are roundworms that infect humans. Transmission is mainly via arthropod vectors such as mosquitoes and flies, and this is really important to note, the vectors. So they infect subcutaneous tissues, deep connective tissues, and so on. Currently, there are 25 million people infected with Onchocerca volvulus. This is the main parasite I'm going to be focusing on, and it seems to be more prevalent in Africa, America, and the Middle East. So just a brief description of the diseases. Volvulus causes blindness and Bancrofti causes elephantiasis. We'll see what that's all about. The morphology is pretty straightforward. The worms are whitish, opalescent, and you find them in bundles together in subcutaneous tissues. The male is smaller than the females, and the microfilaria, which is the most important thing here, they're like the embryos and they are very small. You need a microscope to view them. So this is what the adult worms look like. You can see that they're whitish. This is what they look like when they're in the tissue. You can see they are encapsulated here due to an inflammatory reaction. This is a H&E stain. Yeah. And this is the microfilaria. This is what they look like H&E stain. This is the intermediate host, the black fly, which is responsible for transmitting Onchocerca. So when it comes to diseases, mild infections may produce no symptoms at all. Severe infection, that's where things become serious. You get onchocercomas and blindness, which is the highlight of this disease. There is an inflammatory reaction which may form the fibrotic capsule I was talking about in this previous slide over here. You can see this capsules over here. These two pictures depict what the parasite causes. I mean, look at this guy. You can see that his eyes are damaged here. He's probably blind, most likely blind. And this guy over here has nodules, which are caused by other worms. They aggregate on the skin and they form nodules. And this is Bancrofti with elephantiasis. You can see it's quite severe. I mean, look at this. This lady's feet. The parasites block the lymphatic vessels, so they become swollen. So it's not as severe as this one. So the life cycle is pretty simple. You get the vector here, the adults, and the microfilaria, which is the most important thing here. It's what we're going to be looking for when you are testing the specimen, which can be a skin biopsy or blood. So yeah, you can go through the life cycle, it's pretty straightforward. Epidemiology, as I say, it's seen in African countries and the Yemen in the Middle East and also in Latin America. So according to the World Health Organization, this transmission is still going on in Venezuela and Brazil. This is just the worldwide map of the distribution of Onchocerca. So here I'm just highlighting the differences between the two. There are some things here which are very important, like where they are found. These ones are mostly in the subcutaneous tissues, and this one is found in the lymphatics. And the vector is also important. We're looking at the black fly and the mosquito for this one. So how I remember this volvulus is, volvulus ocular for the eye, so it causes blindness. And this one, the B for blood, Yeah, I don't know how, if that's gonna work for you, but it works for me. And the rest of these things are pretty obvious. You can go through them. Oh, also this, the microfilaria. There's a major difference between the two because volvulus is unsheathed and this one has a sheath around it. I'll show you a picture of it later. Yeah, here it is. What you're looking at here is the difference between the two is number 4. This is Onchocerca. You can see doesn't have a sheath around it. So that's that's one of the differences. And Bancrofti, see it has a sheath around it. It's like a covering. So diagnosis is pretty simple. The first thing you can do is look for the microfilaria in the skin. What they do is they cut the skin, then they place it in saline, and then they view it under a microscope. And there's also this thing called the Mazzoli test, but it's not really used because of the severe reaction that the patients experience. They give them this compound called DEA, and then the people develop edema and inflammation. It can be quite painful, and you can only use it on people who have light infections. So this is what I was talking about: the skin, they cut it, and then they place it in saline. Then you have to look for this microfilaria. It's important that you must differentiate them from one species called Monsternella streptocerca. It's not covered here by me, but they look the same, so you have to differentiate them. Serology is non-specific, so it's not really used to diagnose it, but you'll see an elevation in IgE, which is obviously indicates a parasitic infection. Apparently, you can use recombinant ELISAs to detect it. Molecular diagnostic, our dear old friend, the PCR, the most sensitive method out there. So yeah, I just want to come to this. Treatment and prevention. Well, you have to cut the microfilaria at the source, so you have to remove the adult ones, and that's what they do when they cut out the nodules. There's also a treatment here, ivermectin, which is given. It eliminates the microfilaria. It also suppresses the release of adult ones for up to 6 months. DEC is no longer used anymore because some people develop adverse reactions. Controlling would be to cut the transmission, which would mean removing the vectors such as the flies and the mosquitoes used by using insecticides. And these are the references. Yeah, thank you for joining me. Bye.